everybody.
Ooh, I look like a lumberjack. I think I'm just taking it off. I'm not even going to try.
Oh, come on. It's Christmas.
Nope.
Christmas lumberjack.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Wakey, wakey.
Time to get up.
Good morning, citizens.
Up and at them.
Rise and shine.
This is your wake-up call, people.
Come on, the coffee's on.
All right. Let's see. Who we got in here? We got Tad, Taddle. Hello to you. Tristan and... Tristan. Gosh, it's hard to say.
Say it right.
And Rivka?
Rivka?
Is that how you say it? Or is that like a combination of two names? I don't know.
You're going to have to phonetically spell it out for us.
Good day to both of y'all.
Good day.
By the way, can I just say, earlier, Tristan messaged me just really a few minutes ago, honestly. But he called me mate, and I about melted. I about melted. An actual Australian called me mate, and it was great. And then he says, good day in chat. I mean, come on. Could you be any more Australian?
Could you be any more American?
Could you be any more of what you are? Oriel, 11 months on that subscription. Thank you so much for that, sir. Oriel says you don't look like a lumberjack.
Thanks, Oriel.
Tadal says he is a lumberjack.
Who's a lumberjack? What?
Sorry, Tad. Right. We decided we would just call you Tad. I apologize.
Tad.
Of that. Thank you. This is the official LTN hat. One of the three kinds. You can get one that's just pure black, one with the teal, or one with pink. This was a gift to me from my LTN Secret Santa, which was pretty cool. He called me mate, and it was great. Rivka. It is Hebrew for Rebecca. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I knew I had heard it.
And are we pronouncing it right? Rivka? Rivka?
I mean, I'm sure we're not pronouncing it.
It's pronounced Stephen. No,
Rivka.
it's not. I'm getting the jersey. Oh, yeah. I'm getting the jersey. Jersey's coming my way as well. It looks dope. Guess where I just got back from?
Where?
Like literally less than an hour ago.
Where?
The movie theater.
Nice.
To see Spider-Man No Way Home.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm disappointed in you though.
Why?
Because that's not a Christmas movie.
It had a very short Christmas scene in it. Like very short. Like 2 seconds.
There is no movie watching right now.
No, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna say anything other than the fact that it was just super dang good.
No, we learned that lesson. I shouldn't even say that we learned that lesson because we were not in the wrong here. But do you remember this?
We talked about Endgame.
But
it was
almost a year after it came out.
It wasn't almost a year. It was several months after. Like plenty long enough for everyone to have seen it.
I'm pretty certain it was over 6 months.
That's possible. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Like 7 or I was thinking like 7 or 8 months.
And we got hated on for it for talking about the spoilers, I guess.
I'm scared to even say them now.
I know.
And it's been several movies. Rivka is your wife. Yeah, we figured. And happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rivka.
Happy birthday.
I'm sorry you have to spend it with us.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Well, we've got, we're recording actually kind of 2 Twitch shows today. So we're going to have a brief intermission. And I mean, a couple minutes intermission in between the first one and the second one. The second one is our big Christmas Eve season finale episode, which the whole episode will be recorded here. But in the beginning here, this beginning portion, we're going to be doing just a few segments for the first 3 days. They're going to be shortened episodes this coming week. So we're really just doing one segment from each show and then the last segment for Wednesday. So it shouldn't be too much longer than normal, but maybe slightly longer than normal. We'll just see how it goes. But we are glad to have y'all here. We're going to have a lot of fun, and there's going to be a lot of community engagement today. So if you are not already signed up for the Back Row Discord, which I'm going to throw the thing up in there, that first link, Back Row Discord, go to that now. Get signed up for it over on a Discord so you can jump into the chat later. We're gonna have a not quite an arguing on Discord, more just like a nice freewheeling Christmas discussion on Discord.
A nice Christmas discussion.
Later on, Tad is going to be going up against Mo in a game, and then
Say what?
in the Christmas Eve section, Mo and I are going to be playing a game of Sunday School Answers Christmas Edition,
Whoop, whoop.
where you guys in the Discord chat are going to choose
Who wins?
whose card's the funniest.
Who the winner is.
So we're excited. It's going to be a good time.
We're not they're not gonna know.
No, you don't need to pop in there now. No, we'll tell you beforehand because it's hard to pay attention to the stream and the Discord at the same time, both for you and for us, because it's on a bit of a delay.
They're not gonna know whose card is whose card, right?
No.
Because I feel like some may be a little more biased.
We'll each take turns reading all of them. We're each gonna play 2 cards.
Got it?
Okay. And then we're each gonna take turns reading all of them, so there's no way to tell for them whose we're reading.
Got it.
Got it? Okay. All right.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in it for
Make sure my phone's on silent.
our Monday show.
Is your phone on silent?
Good question.
Sheesh. How many years we've been doing this?
Since 2016.
Oh my word.
With the podcast. That's when the podcast started.
Right.
Yeah.
What year was Eli born in? 2015?
No. 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, 2014.
Okay. Ew.
All right, here we go. Do you have an on-air sign? No.
But we should.
We should get something like that. All right. Yeah, okay. Our video is jumping over here, and I'm not sure if that's going out that way. Can someone tell me? It says here we don't have any drop frames, so it might just be my... This is like my oldest computer that we do this on up here. And so sometimes it's just persnickety.
You really just need to upgrade.
Well, I did upgrade, but I upgraded it to my home.
I know you did.
That'll be the next thing I start saving up for. Looks fine here, and I'm on mobile. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, we are going to get started. As we go.
Rise and shine, nerds.
Welcome to episode 426 of the Back Row Morning Show, a part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network and the official exclusive morning show for LTN Radio. I'm Radio Matt, the station manager and chief radio nerd. I'm 18 years saved, 16 years married, 11 years recovered, 7 years a father, and 36 years a nerd.
And I'm Mo. A lot of things wrapped up in one small yet loud package. Your very own casserole of a co-host, doing my best to bring the best. But one thing I'm not is good at math.
Today on the show, the most popular Christmas songs of all time.
Also on the show, T3, Rise of the AI. Great. Oh, that's right. Terminator 3. Rise of the AI.
But
Wonderful.
first, today is Monday,
Lovely.
December 20th, 2021, and we got some holidays to celebrate.
That's right. But before we focus on those holidays, Matthew,
Yes.
we have to take a second.
Why?
It is my firstborn's 16th birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, it is. I am the mother of a 16-year-old.
Gross.
So, if it were either of my other 2 children, I wouldn't make it such a big deal. But because Topher is such a big part of our community, if you will, you have to wish him a happy birthday. Tell him now.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, tell him.
Happy birthday,
Hey!
Topher.
Do it right.
Happy birthday, Topher.
Or pay the price.
Happy birthday. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me.
This is my firstborn.
Just take my wallet.
You
Happy birthday, Topher. From all of us to all of you.
Happy birthday, son. Love you. All right. So today is Games Day.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means, but
It's literally like tabletop games, video games. It's just anything that you're having fun.
You made me stutter because you
said you didn't know.
interrupted me. I was trying to get a thought out, and you butted in.
From all of us to all of you. I'm sorry, Mo.
It's also National Sangria Day.
I've never
I've never had
it.
I've never had sangria either. I am curious about it.
Is it according to Stanley from The Office, I believe it's just red wine with a bunch of fruit in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that all it really is?
Yeah. Okay. Which kind of confuses me because, I mean, wine is just fruit. So.
It is. You're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it's different fruit. Like, don't they throw like strawberries and oranges and junk in there? Okay,
so I've never heard of orange wine, but there is strawberry wine.
No, not wine. I'm just like normal red wine, whatever kind they use, but then they throw like oranges and strawberries.
Yeah. I was just saying, because you said, isn't it different fruit? So I was just saying.
Oh, I mean, not grapes.
Okay.
That's all I meant. Mixed into it.
Yeah.
Wine is fruit juice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is one of those things that, like...
Pinot with different fruits. That's what Tad says.
Pinot. Or if you're Italian, it's...
Peanut. Uh-huh. Is that really how they say it?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Italy says it?
It's not peanut.
Peanut?
They pronounce
Pinot.
the T. Because Pinot is French. And they absolutely 100% will not have anything French.
More freedom fries for the table.
Yeah. So when you pronounce it Pinot, it's the French version.
That's funny.
You can't say that when you're in Italy. They just kind of glare at you. It's also Go Caroling Day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like it's a tradition that's falling out of favor.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I remember doing it was in youth group. We did it every year when I was in youth group here at this church. Go caroling.
I really feel like it's something that needs to be brought back. We did, I guess, our first Christmas at the church we're attending now. They had all of the addresses of the elderly church members. Mm-hmm. And so there were like 6 or 7 teams of carolers who divided up those addresses and went caroling to the elderly members. Yeah, which that was fun. That was the last time that I can remember caroling, obviously. But before that, it was when I was in youth. And we put a whole like float together on the back of a trailer, hooked up to a truck, and drove around all the neighborhoods caroling, and then ended up at my pastor's oldest daughter's house and drank hot chocolate until my mom came and picked me up. It should really be something more people do.
It sounds great.
Yep.
Well, how's your week been, Mo? Did something?
I mean, fairly certain. Fairly common. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I feel like something slightly terrifying happened.
I mean, we ended the first semester of school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm officially on Christmas break. My son is 16.
Yeah. But I feel like you were almost homeless. I feel like a few more seconds and it might have gotten.
Oh, are you referencing how my house almost burnt down?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was actually what was last Sunday from right now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, not the 19th,
the
but
12th.
the 12th. Yes. So not yesterday, but the Sunday before that. A week ago from yesterday. Yeah. So we have a tradition where every Sunday before, like right after dinner, we light our Advent candles and our Advent wreath and do the little scripture reading and prayer and blah, blah, blah. And
Threy in our chat is freaking out.
so we took care of that business and then went into our living room and started playing Ticket to Ride. And as we're playing Ticket to Ride, Chris, my husband, who we all had COVID, quote unquote. I always tested negative, but anyway, we had COVID a year ago, last Christmas. And ever since then, he has not been able to smell.
Yeah.
And so out of nowhere, he looks at all of us and goes, "Does anybody else smell plastic burning?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually." And I had smelled it, but didn't say anything about it. I guess because plastic burning in my house is a common smell. I don't know.
This isn't alarming.
Yeah, that is probably the one thing that is most concerning to me, is that I sat there thinking, man, that's plastic. Why is, oh, well, whatever. And just like completely brushed it off. Completely. I don't, anyway. So as soon as I'm like, yeah, it hits me. And I jump up and I'm like, the wreath! And we run into the kitchen just as our small little breakfast nook table is on fire. The actual table was not on fire, but the entire wreath. The whole wreath was on fire.
There's a video that she shared on her Facebook.
Yeah.
Of it, and it's a boiling white ball of fire.
Yeah. So we have a little, like one of the little Wise cameras set up in our dining room that's facing our back door, and it's also facing our dog. So if we're ever not at home, we know what's happening and what's going on. And it perfectly faces that table where the Advent wreath is. And so actually the day after all of this happened, Chris was like, "Hey, I bet we have that recorded." So he went back and found the video of it. But it was less than 2 minutes. One of the candles in the center had just like melted, and so it toppled over. And when that candle fell over, all the decorative junk that I had around it just went up in flames. And so, yeah, watching the video back and just seeing it grow and grow and grow and grow.
What felt like forever when you're watching it. It's like, you already know that they got it out, but watching it, you're like, come on, get in there. You got it. How can you not see or smell it yet?
Yeah. But from start to finish, the entire video is 1 minute and 46 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's insane. We were honestly just probably half a minute away from it hitting the snowflakes that I have hanging from the light above, which then would have caught that light, been in a whole
really bad.
electrical thing. And yes, of course, my entire house could have been gone in just a couple minutes time.
If y'all had been outside in the front or something, anything, it could have, it would have been a much bigger problem.
Yep. So, all of that to say, please go check your fire extinguisher. Make sure it is not expired.
Yeah, that made Daedra say, "Oh, we don't have a fire extinguisher." I'm like, yeah, we need to get one.
Listen, my sister-in-law commented the same thing, and she was like, "Oh, fire extinguisher needs to go in our Amazon cart." And Chris was like, "Lowe's has some pretty good ones. Like, don't wait another second. Go get a fire extinguisher right now." And here's something else that we didn't know, but when Chris, a fire extinguisher is a one-time use.
Yeah.
And so we obviously had to go get a replacement the next day. when he went to get a replacement, he found these little cans of, it's the same contents as a fire extinguisher, what's inside of a fire extinguisher, but just in case you have a fire in your home, you use your fire extinguisher to put it out, but for some reason it picks back up. You now don't have a fire extinguisher. You didn't have time in the middle of the night or whatever to go. So these little cans are like a secondary fire extinguisher to have.
That's cool.
So yes, get a fire extinguisher and then get that little can.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because it could happen fast.
Sure.
Like in a minute and a half's time.
Absolutely.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm on board.
I'm just saying.
So before you posted the video the day before when it happened, you posted a picture of like the thing that had melted.
Yeah.
Afterwards. And I remember scrolling through it, and I didn't really stop on the photo very long, and just like, oh, and then I scrolled on, and in my mind I'm thinking, man, Mo really missed the mark with that wreath. That looked awful.
Okay, so hold on. I had the school counselor come into my library the very next morning, and she was like, hey, is everything okay? And I hadn't posted the video yet because we didn't post the video until the next evening. Anyway, and I was like, yeah. And I started explaining to her the whole story. And she's like, okay, I got to tell you, I was just mindlessly scrolling through Facebook while talking to my husband, but my daughter was sitting directly beside me. And as I'm scrolling, she goes, oh, Mom, that's an ugly centerpiece. And so my counselor was like, what? What are you talking about? And scrolls down and she goes, oh, that's not an ugly centerpiece. That's a burnt centerpiece. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're getting a little wacky with these designs. Just
whatever.
Stay traditional here.
I typically do stay traditional when it comes to Christmas. So that should have been like the first, what is happening right now?
Right, yeah. Man, yeah, it wasn't until I saw you post the video that I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense. And also, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was terrifying.
So this week, my wife has been continuing on the family tradition that they've had every year.
I don't want to talk about it.
The Vassar women of making cookies.
I don't want to talk about it. My kids informed me of this Wednesday night as we were coming home from church.
That they were still doing it?
I about lost it.
Oh.
I about lost it. They've named it something, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We made a whole...
I don't want to talk about it. Don't say anything.
It's a radio talk show, and this is my segment. This is all I have prepared. We designed, had a nice little image drawn up, a Christmassy image of my mother-in-law, and designed a little logo for Grandma Tina's Christmas cookies. And Daedra, mostly just Daedra, all week has been making these cookies because Joanna's family got upended by strange medical happenings. Not COVID, other weird things, but everything seems to be okay now. While we're recording this, they're actually out delivering things. So, but it's been a long week.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to say something.
Okay.
Assuming that I'm still on the list, am I going to miss it?
Why are you always ask that every year if you're on the list, but yes, you're going to miss it.
You never know. That's sad.
I'm sorry. Normally they do Friday and Saturday, and I just learned an hour ago that Greg's out of town on Saturday, and so they're having to get them all in tonight.
It's probably a good thing that I'm going to miss it. Because, oh my gosh, I am not even kidding, Matt.
I believe you.
It was Tuesday in my memories on Facebook.
Yeah.
That I saw where I had my one short-lived night of where I had tried to join and do the cookies.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. And
it was Tina's post. Tina posted and said, Megan decided to join for cookie baking tonight. Will she be back tomorrow? And I'm like, I read that. I always check my memories first thing in the morning, and I was like, I didn't make it back. I should have made it back. heartbroken.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then coming home from church Wednesday night, Cannon's like, "Oh, Mom, I talked to Jaron today." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, what? What's going on?" They're doing cookies still. And I was like, "What?" I didn't think they would. And he's like, "Yeah, and they named it Grandma Tina's Cookies." And I was like,
Yeah, it's been an up and down kind of emotional week for sure. But
I bet.
it was important.
Okay, so for all of our new people who are listening, you've got to give a really quick rundown of what this is, because I know there are people who are like, "Okay, what are you talking about right now?"
So I want to say about a decade ago, my mother-in-law, who passed away earlier this year in September, wanted to do something with both her daughters. Now that they had grown up and gone out of the house and been married and started families of their own, wanted to do one big new tradition every year at Christmas. And so what they decided to do was make just a heck ton of different kinds of cookies. Just a giant box full of cookies.
Like 20-something different cookies.
Yeah. And fudge sometimes, truffle sometimes. I think they went a little easier on that stuff this year just because they didn't have the manpower. But and they make all these boxes, tons and tons of boxes. I think one year they had as many as 75, 80, something like that. I don't think they have that many this year either. But and they just deliver them all around town. They bake them. They take a whole week. They're usually up until past midnight every day trying to get these done. And it's just a big family event that they that the Vassar women did and loved. And so this year they made the decision pretty much immediately back in September that they were still going to do it, and they're probably going to try and keep doing it every single year. Make it a new tradition with the new daughters in the family, and even the boys
Well, at this
too,
point,
all the kids and everything.
yeah. At this point, it's been ingrained. It is a part of Julian, your niece, and so there's no way that she's ever going to let them not do it.
Right.
She is too headstrong of a person to be like, no, we're doing this.
The only time that I actually almost started crying was when I went over the first night and I saw my wife and Johnny was in there, like mixing things up, and he was so excited to be helping this year. This was his first time actually helping, getting involved, and I'm like, man.
So, Cannon asked me when I told him about that memory popping up on Tuesday, he goes, "Well, why didn't we go back?" And I said, "Here's the thing. It was like 8 years ago." And so Mila and Julian are the same age. And then Cannon, Topher, and Jaron are all within a year and a half of each other.
Yeah.
And so all together, they're all 5 years apart. That's a lot of kids. 5 kids, all pretty much 6 to 1.5 at the time. All of which were at the time homeschooled. And crazy.
It was nuts. Yeah, it still is.
And so your in-laws have a playroom that is literally just full of toys. But between those 5 kids, they took every single toy out of every single bin and carried it from the playroom all the way down the hallway, like left this huge trail from playroom down hallway all the way to kitchen. And the entire time, all 5 of them loud, playing, screaming, having fun. It was nothing bad, but I can remember feeling like, 1, my kids are being a total distraction and they're going absolutely insane. And 2, every like 10 minutes or so, I was asking, okay, so what do we do now? Because they barely talk to each other. Right. Joanna, Daedra, and Tina would barely talk to each other.
Because they know what they're doing. Yeah.
They had it down to a science routine at this point. Yeah. They knew what they were doing. And here I am like, what do we do?
What can I do?
Do you need me to do something? Where
of course that's how it's going to be.
Right. But I felt like more of a hindrance in the entire process than anything.
You should have kept going.
I know I should have kept going. Thanks for the kick in the shin. I already acknowledged that I should have kept going. But that is one of those things. 8 years later, I remember what my kids were wearing.
Yeah.
I remember what I was wearing. I can go back instantly to that night because it was so memorable, but not in the best ways.
The amount of uncomfortable I was feeling.
Yeah.
Well, let's get our mind off that and talk about AI real quick. Just a quick weird news story. Just an adding to our trilogy of weird news these last couple weeks. I'm not even going to read I'm not going to read the headline. I'm going to read the story. Okay. So this comes from, where's it come from? Okay. This comes from Oxford. Okay. A professor and a fellow at the University of Oxford came face to face with that reality. That reality. Can't tell you what reality yet, but with the reality when he invited. Sorry.
Are you going to get this together?
Yes!
And read it correctly?
Oxford
or what?
invited
What's going on?
an AI to participate in a debate at the Oxford Union on the ethics of AI. Specifically, as Dr. Alex Connick and Professor Andrew Stephen explain in the conversation, the prompt was, this house believes that AI will never be ethical. The AI, it seems, agreed. So, the AI, which is called the Megatron Turing Natural Language Generation Model, argued AI will never be ethical, which this model is trained in Wikipedia, Reddit, and millions of English language news articles published between 2016 and 2019. It said it is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good and bad. Which, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Sure.
A potentially nuanced point from the machine, but the AI didn't stop there. It continued, in the end, I believe that the only way to avoid an AI arms race is to have no AI at all. This will be the ultimate defense against AI. It basically just threatened us.
Yeah.
The only way to avoid a war against machines is to not have artificial intelligence in those machines. That's what this robot told people of its own volition, based on knowledge it was programmed with, but not programmed to say that. So, just say, we've been talking about the robots are coming. We've been talking about the robot bio hybrids that can self-reproduce now, that came out 2 weeks ago. We talked about that brainless blob that they shot into space. I mean, all kinds. Are we living in a simulation? All this fun stuff we've been talking about for the last few months. And just not getting any better. It's getting worse every time we get a new article.
I don't know why you continue to read them.
Because every time I think we're done, there's a brand new one. And I don't even seek them out. They find me. It's like the machines are using us to inform the world that they're coming. Be afraid.
Be very afraid.
All right, let's take a break here. When we come back, the best Christmas music ever.
Stick around. Yay.
Oh, guys. What a first shot there was.
Guys.
All right. Give.
Is there a way for me to share the video?
What's happening
Here?
There should be a way you can share it in the Discord, at least. I don't think you can do it here. I'd have to, download it. Maybe. Hold on. You know what? I should maybe just be able to play it. Y'all want to see that video? You want to see the fire video?
You really do. I promise.
Transformers Wars about to begin. Y'all really got super chatty. You can post the link here. Now let's do the whole thing. Let's find it. I can get there.
All right.
Megan Oaks. All right.
Megan. When people call me Megan,
Your name?
it seems so angry. There it is.
Megan.
I don't like people calling me Megan.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Full screen. Hold up, bro. Quit with the automatic playing. Okay, this is gonna look. This is gonna look janky on the screen. I'm just gonna.
The Advent wreath of doom.
Just gonna be rolling it over here. Let's see. Where are you at? Window capture? Is that what I should do? I think that's what I should do.
I don't know. I hope you're not asking me
That's
because
the
you know good and
one.
well.
Okay. All right. So here, I'll make it as big as I can. Bloop, bloop. Good enough. All right. Let me make sure you could hear it as well. I think you'll be able to hear it through the desktop audio. Here we go. Maybe not. See that little white flame right in the middle? Good, thank you.
Yes, that tree does rotate. That is our memory tree.
I want you to watch Chris's like slide into the kitchen where he stops like a cartoon character to go run the other direction.
Yes, it is actually already on fire. The candle fell just before. Eek.
Doesn't this feel interminably long?
It really does. So Chris slides because he thought, which I thought the same thing. It's why I opened the door. But we thought we could just pick it up and throw it.
Here we go. Flip around. Whoop, sorry, loud.
The dogs are in their kennel. Cover your face, Stan.
We have the dogs over there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the dogs were in their kennel. Go, 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 go.
Craziness.
Yep.
Crazy. Craziness.
Yep. So Chris, again, he thought that he would just be able to pick it up and throw it outside. Again, I thought the same thing. That's why I ran and opened up the door. And then he's like, nope, not going to be able to pick that up. And turns around and has to go back to the pantry where the fire extinguisher is. And I don't know if you heard him, but he said, come on, pin. Because he couldn't get the pole out or the pin out of the extinguisher. Cannon the next day was like, Dad, you were so calm. And you were like talking to the fire extinguisher, telling it to work. Chris was like, well, I could have been screaming, but that wouldn't have helped the situation at all.
Oh, man. All right. All right. So I did mention earlier in the Discord that we're going to be actually doing a drawing to get one of these hats. That's going to happen in the second half of the show during the Christmas Eve special. So just be aware of that. And let's see here. Okay. Sorry, my brain farted. We're moving on to our Tuesday show.
Yes.
And in this one, we're going to be doing that discussion on Discord. It's not really an argument, but we want to... oh, no, wait. This is an argument. We have a different discussion later in the Christmas Eve show. I forgot about this. Okay. So there's going to be 2 arguing on Discord sections. I forgot. Completely forgot. So this one's actually going to be a fun one about Christmas specials. So if you'd like to chime in on that, just be ready. But we have a butt ton of holidays to talk about that happen on the 21st. So you have some time. I'll mention it when it gets closer. And I'll hop in our chat at that time as well. Alrighty? Alrighty. Well, let's move on to Tuesday.
Rise and shine, nerds.
Welcome to episode 427 of the Back Row Morning Show, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network and the official exclusive morning show for LTN Radio. I'm Radio Matt, the station manager and chief radio nerd. I'm 18 years saved, 16 years married, 11 years recovered, 7 years a father, and 36 years a nerd.
And I'm Mo, a lot of things wrapped up in one small yet loud package. Your very own casserole of a co-host, doing my best to bring the best. But one thing I am not is good at math.
And today on the show, why you can't beat the Christmas oldies.
Also in the show today, our Discord will debate a topic about Christmas.
But first, today is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021, and we got some holidays to celebrate.
A lot of holidays.
A lot of days.
Ready?
Holidays.
It's winter solstice.
First day of winter.
First day of winter.
For us. Because, like, it happens, I think this year in Russia, it happened on the 1st of December.
It changes?
It's different in different parts. Isn't that weird? Well, I mean, half the world is not in winter right now. Which I always forget.
Why do you insist on confusing me?
Half the world, it's like going into summer. I think possibly in Australia. Is that true? We have a couple people watching in Discord from Australia. Is it like getting to be summer where you're at? Or am I just completely messed up?
I need somebody to explain this to me.
Well, it
I'm sure.
has to do with
hold
the
on.
axis.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure that it was explained numerous times as I was in elementary school and then middle school and high school. Here's the thing. I did not want to learn back then. And so things that I should have learned then, I'm having to learn now. Okay. So I need somebody to explain it to me. Anyway, also, it's my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is summer here. Yeah. Traditions. Yep. Isn't that weird? Merry Christmas. Actually, no, it's more like what probably the time Jesus was born in Australia than it is here. Because it wasn't winter. Anyway.
Okay.
National Short Girl Appreciation Day.
Yeah, it's my day. That's
tall are
my
you?
day. I am 5, maybe 3.
5'3". Okay. Daedra's 5 foot.
She has to look up to me.
Yeah, she does.
That doesn't happen often. At least when you're over the age of 11. It's not often. Anyway, it's also National French Fried Shrimp Day.
French fried shrimp. I love me some fried shrimp. Some French fried shrimp.
I don't think that I've ever called it French fried shrimp.
Because fried, well,
Tell me you've ordered yourself some French fried shrimp before.
I think that's just the actual name of it. But you're right. You're right. You're right. And when you're right, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's also National
Flashlight Day. Because it's winter solstice. And where I am, you need a flashlight. Apparently in Australia, you don't need a flashlight. Because it's summer. I don't know.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so confused. It's also National Crossword Puzzle Day.
Never been a fan.
Look on the bright side day.
Okay, crosswords you do bring joy to a lot of people.
Okay, I have to see if I can remember how to say this appropriately.
Oh, do it.
Appropriately.
Oh, please. If you say it wrong, you're going to anger so many people.
International Dalek Remembrance Day.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
International Dalek Remembrance Day. Doctor
And-
Who.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I was just saying Doctor Who.
Doctor
themed
Who.
Holiday.
Yeah. Okay. And it is Humbug Day.
Yeah.
Humbug.
For all you people who have just been so sick of the Christmas season and it's
Humbug.
still a few days away and you're done. You're done already.
Do you know
This is
that
your day.
Humbug Day, though, is to remind you to not take out your frustrations and your Scrooge-ness on others? That's the purpose behind Humbug Day. That's what happens when I look into these holidays and research them. Also, I was today years old when I learned that it's not bah humbug, that it's just humbug. Bah is like when we would, like if we were to sigh, like, oh.
Yeah.
I never put that two and two together.
Like,
bah, humbug. I never put that together.
Yeah.
I thought that it was one word, bah humbug.
Oh, I could see that. But yeah, it's like the exasperation before the exclamation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we would just go, sheesh, humbug. Anyway.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
I really hope it's not inappropriate.
I know.
Okay.
But every time I say it, a kid is always like, don't do that. Don't say that. But they don't tell me not to say or do things when they're inappropriate. They only tell me not to say and do things when I'm being cool and embarrassing them. So
You're ruining the coolness factor of
Exactly.
this thing. It's not your good. Huh? What? It's not. Okay. It's not, comma, you're good is what he's saying.
Got it. It's
Thank
not
you.
your good. Punctuation. It's important.
All right. If y'all want to talk about our arguing on Discord with us, which I'll explain what it is here in a minute, jump in on the Discord now. Those of you watching along as we record. If you're listening to this on the radio station, you already missed your opportunity. Come on. While we're waiting on people to jump in, our friend from Australia, Tristan, sent us a little message here on Twitch. It says, Google explains the seasons as Earth's tilted axis causes the seasons. Throughout the year, different parts of the Earth receive the sun's most direct rays. So when the North Pole tilts toward the sun, it's summer in the northern hemisphere. And when the South Pole tilts toward the sun, it's winter in the northern hemisphere. But vice versa on the other hemisphere. So,
Got it.
there you go.
It makes slightly more sense now. But
All right, we
Still very
got
confusing.
people jumping up in this chat.
jump up.
Let's
Jump
welcome
up,
them.
jump up and get down.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
Hey.
Hola.
Merry Christmas week to you all.
Oh, Oriole, you're like...
Oriole's mumbling.
You sound like Robot 3.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
All right.
We got a whole crew up in here today. All right.
Been here.
So,
Question already?
well, no, we haven't asked the question yet. Here it comes. So once a week, we like to open up our Discord, backrowdiscord.com, for some of our back row buds to argue some of the internet's favorite arguments. And we want to take a look at Christmas specials. So the question on the table, what is your least favorite Christmas special and why?
Will you define Christmas special, please?
Well, I mean, the classic ones would be like it's Christmas Charlie Brown? I don't remember actually the title. Charlie Brown Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
We got, Frosty the Snowman, but you could take it all the way up to the newer stuff like Prep and Landing, but basically independent, short, single episode type Christmas themed specials. I'll even take...
If anyone says Charlie Brown, I'm going to fire you.
I'll even take like Christmas specials from movie franchises just to cash in on the holiday, like Shrek's Donkey Waffle Christmas or whatever it was. So that's on the table. So worst Christmas special, we'll start with KY because she's on the top of my list here.
Did you say donkey waffle?
Yeah, I mean that's what it's about. It's about donkey and it's about Christmas waffles, and that's all I remember.
Donkey waffles.
Wow.
Donkey waffle.
Donkey. So I have to admit that though I have 3 children, I have not seen a lot of the Christmas special things. 'Cause
For
I'm more of a
shame.
classic girl. I know. Like, I haven't even seen... Okay, I'm 43, and I have not seen the claymation, like, Frosty and Rudolph ones at all.
Well,
no.
well, the original Frosty was animated. The only claymation Frosty that I'm aware of was Frosty
Winter
and
Wonderland?
Rudolph. No, Frosty and Rudolph's Shiny New Year,
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That one's good though.
which is bad.
So I don't think I can have a least favorite. So even though you called me first, I have to bow out of this one.
Oh.
So like I can't do a least favorite, but circle back around for most favorite.
Well, go ahead and tell us your most favorite too.
Okay, well, my Sunday school just showed the Charlie Brown one this week.
The original
and he
one.
does it every year as part of like a grief processing, and like holiday, how to process how we are part of God's kingdom and stuff, and shows this as part of his presentation thing. And so I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it was really seeing it through new eyes was really cool.
Can I share with you my favorite thing about that special real quick?
No.
Is it the thing that you told everyone on the radio?
Yeah, we shared it on the nerd history, and so if you already heard that, then you already
It's
know.
so good.
But I do want to just share it again because it really is my favorite thing, and I've only known about it for the last few years, or only realized it for the last few years. Is we all know, like, the character of Linus, he has that security blanket that he has to have always. It's shown in every comic and every cartoon and everything. If he doesn't have that blanket, he's freaking the heck out. And so as he's getting up at the climax of that special to tell the whole Christmas story, basically reading the Christmas story verbatim but through memory, he gets to the point where the angel says, "Fear not," and it zooms in on him a little bit during that portion. And so when he says "fear not," it's almost off screen, like you can barely tell that it happened if you're not looking for it, but he drops the blanket. And then he finishes telling the story about Jesus coming, to change the world, to save everybody, the whole thing, without that security blanket whatsoever. It's like in that moment, he dropped his fear, he dropped his insecurities, because he was focused on the true vanquisher of fear. And I think that is one. I mean, we got into that because of recovery. Like, we found that in our recovery process, and we share that every year at Christmas for Celebrate Recovery. And it's really just a beautiful, almost hidden object lesson that I'm 100% certain that was completely done on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I completely missed it for most of my life. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay.
Don't cry.
So many reasons why that is the best
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
special.
Agreed.
I feel like that would not be an argument. We would just be gushing about how wonderful that special is for the
And when
entire time.
And when I first wrote this, I had "what's your favorite," but then I realized, most people are gonna say, and if they don't say it, they're just gonna be shouted down. So
Well, but the one I do watch every year. I don't watch that every year, but I watch Claymation Christmas from the 80s, which no person ever seen.
Same! It's a whistling. It's a whistling.
And
Anyway.
we had it on VHS, and we found it bootleg on DVD, and we watch it every year since
I might
was
have to
a
buy a
child.
copy of that. Oh my
Girl,
goodness.
oh my gosh. So,
thought we were the only
that's
ones.
why- Because it's music, and I'm a singer, and it's all about Christmas carols and part of the
Oh,
history.
100%.
Oh my gosh, it speaks to my soul. And the ones that I fast forwarded through as a kid now as an adult make me cry. And and the California raisins are in it, so you can't really
Oh my
screw
goodness.
up. And the camels, the 3 camels, the doobie-doo camels, that's my favorite part every time. Anyway, I'm
And
gonna stop now.
forgive me, but I am such a brat whenever that song comes on by newer groups because they won't say wassail. They say
Thank
every
you.
other word. And
Yes,
it's just
okay.
like, I'm sitting here being the 6-year-old brat going, it's wassailing, thank you.
Accuracy matters.
It's just
Welcome
like,
to
why,
the Thray and KY
why am I
show.
this snob? Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll talk off
You are
camera.
wrong. That was the best.
I've never heard of this special.
I've
never
missed
heard
a lot.
of a Christmas special that features the California raisins. Nor would I ever think that it would be considered good if it had the California raisins in it.
Now more than ever,
Okay.
I just have to say.
I will say it's a classic. I will not say that it's good. but it is a classic. It's just fun. It's just fun. Yeah. There are people that watch the Star Wars Christmas special with that much passion, and I hate that. So.
Oh, that one's bad.
It is bad, but I feel attacked.
No, I didn't mean to attack. But it's like, okay, this is something that is treasured, but oh, it's so cringy. Oh, so cringy.
All right, well, Thray, since you're already, you know,
butting in. Sorry,
hosting the show. What's your least favorite Christmas special?
Well, it's actually not that one. My least favorite Christmas special is, there's in the series of sequel Rudolphs that they made.
Yes.
There is a 4th of July one where he and Frosty go and join the circus.
That's right. I forgot there was another Frosty one
and
too.
That is the worst one in the world.
Yeah, you forgot it for a reason, Matt.
I did, yeah.
It is just so painful. And I was so scarred as a child because the quality of the artwork goes way down.
Wow.
Story is just horrific because there's like multiple deaths that happen. It's okay because magic, it gets better. But, you know, as a child, there's just these creatures dying in front of you. It's fine.
Wow.
It's just like, what? Well, because they have snowmen in a 4th of July special.
Yeah.
What do you think happens?
Yeah.
Right.
So what happens to
Makes
Frosty's
sense.
children? That totally goes well.
Oh, I don't think I recall the story, but you're bringing
It
terrible
is
memories
messed up.
that I don't even think I have. And I'm assuming your favorite is Charlie Brown, right? Or is it the Raisins one, the California Raisin?
The California Raisin.
No, I just found another human being on Earth that
knew
that
what you were
knows
talking
what
about.
that is. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
All right, brother.
Sorry, I jumped in like
No,
that.
you're fine. That was very entertaining. Brother Ma, John, what's your least favorite Christmas special?
And we're talking about just ones that are like made for TV kind of Christmas specials, not things that released in the theater.
I'm willing to expand the definition if you really want to get something off your chest, but typically, yes, that's what I would think.
Okay, I don't have a particular hill to die on. Okay, if it went to the theater, I would have thrown Polar Express down.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Ooh.
Uncanny Valley for days. Very scary.
Yeah, that was more creepy than anything.
Yeah. But what about TV special ones?
Yeah, the TV ones, I love almost. I can't say almost of the claymation ones.
Okay.
But Santa Claus is coming to town.
Ooh.
It misses the mark for me every time. I like the other ones, but not that one.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like it has some good points, but overall, yeah, I agree with you. It's pretty rough. It's down on the bottom tier for me. What about your favorite? What's your favorite one?
Oh, The Year Without Santa Claus. Without question. We get the misers. We're introduced to the misers in that one, which is the greatest musical accomplishment.
I almost completely forgot about that.
The sequel is
Christmas.
not good though.
We don't talk about that.
All right, Oriole, least favorite.
Let's see.
I'll call you by your name, Brian. I don't know why. I'm just so used to calling you Oriole. It feels right.
I answered all of it. So, see, I'm not that huge of a Christmas special watcher. Like, I have a couple that I watch, but yeah, that one that Thray was talking about, the Frosty, the Rudolph, the 4th of July thing, that was just
It's pretty rough.
weird. Yeah, that's rough. That would probably be my least favorite. But I mean, my favorite would be Charlie Brown Christmas.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I mean, my son's actually watching Frosty right now. That's all he wanted to do when he got here was he wanted to watch Frosty.
Frosty.
Dude, I mean, the original Frosty the Snowman, I always forget how good it is. I really enjoy it.
Yes.
Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then in like the early 2000s, they came out with a new like a new one, but it was a sequel to the originals. And I think it's called The Return of Frosty the Snowman or something like that. But that one was really good too. Like, I'm surprised at how good that one was.
Yeah, I also recorded for him Frosty Returns, and I don't know if you ended up watching that yet.
Yes, I've seen that one. I don't like that one as much, but
yeah,
it's still not bad. Not bad. All right, Tad, what's your least favorite?
Can we talk about the Star Wars Christmas special?
Oh, dude. So the first time I got exposed to that was I'd gone to an Albuquerque comic convention and someone was bootleg selling it on DVD. Now, and I'm thinking to myself, I'll never have the opportunity to see this. So I bought it, and I was more I mean, I'm glad, I guess, that I saw why everybody hated it, but gosh, it was not worth the $35.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I mean, I found a copy of it online one time, and I watched it, and I'll occasionally watch it again just because it's Star Wars, but I can completely agree that it is bad.
There's whole conversations between a family of Wookiees that you have no idea what they're saying.
Though I have to admit, the Lego Christmas, Lego Star Wars special was very good.
It was very funny. It was charming for sure.
That was good. I enjoyed watching that.
Tad, what's your favorite?
I have to watch all of the claymation ones every Christmas, so those are by far like the top tier, and then right under that is the Santa Claus series with
the movies.
Yeah, the movies.
Okay, yeah. I love the
all
even the
Tim Allen ones.
The last two, two are terrible in my opinion, but I still love them and watch them.
Yeah, they're nostalgic enough that it's like totally overlook.
I'll suffer
through the bad parts.
I'll suffer through the weird plastic Santa dictator thing, and
no, that one's the worst one.
And the very terrible time travel logic of the third one.
Yeah, the third one is my least favorite, but
the only thing that saves it for me is Jack Frost. I mean,
I do like Jack Frost. Yeah,
Martin Short does fantastic.
See, and I can appreciate the second one because, what is his son's name? Oh, Charlie. I like that.
I see where you're going.
Aspect of the story,
about him.
And it's kind of like a Hallmark movie, the second one,
Yeah, I mean, the parts that are focused around Tim Allen's character, the actual Scott Calvin character, I really liked. And the whole,
maybe that's why I like
the scene with the teachers where he gets them all the gifts.
Yes.
And they're all playing with toys. Oh,
that's
beautiful.
Cute. That one's cute.
See, I almost did say my least favorite Christmas special was all the Hallmark movies, but I didn't want to open that can of worms.
Most of them are pretty rough.
Speaking of Hallmark movies, if you want the worst Christmas Hallmarks, look up John Filick. He's the director. Anything he does is absolutely terrible. I tried to introduce my friend to Netflix Hallmarks, and I'm like, oh, let's try this one. I haven't watched it before. And it was absolutely the most terrible Hallmark Christmas special I have ever seen.
I am so disappointed in all of you right now. I'm so
I've also
disappointed.
never seen a Hallmark movie.
There are some really great Hallmark
I love
popcorns. They're self-aware enough nowadays that they call out their own tropes and then fall into other ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, there was one on the other day that was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna break a commitment because it's the last minute. That doesn't make any sense. And yet they went with that plot point anyway. The dialogue of that was a stupid plot point was there, but they still proceeded to do it anyway.
I love how there's always some very minute misunderstanding that threatens the
1 hour and
relationship.
45 minutes. We have to have a crisis.
Yep.
And then it's always rectified. It doesn't matter. I still love you anyway. All right, Toffee.
Yeah.
Toffee,
Okay.
What's your least favorite?
So I was thinking for a bit, and I was gonna go with one, but then something came to mind, and I was like, nah, it's this for sure.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's very obscure. It's called The Nuttiest Nutcracker.
The nuttiest nutcracker. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember it.
It's like 48 minutes, and man, if you have not seen it, you have to. But like, it's a nutcracker story, but with so many other things thrown in. Like, man, there's like this group of nuts. I know that. There's a grandpa nut, a child nut, and like a reggae nut.
A reggae nut?
This sounds
Yes.
like it is
Yes.
a Christmas spin-off of the Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor.
It looks
Sounds like a Christmas Veggie
Oh my
Tales.
gosh!
Yes,
it looks
I was-
it looks exactly like that. Yeah,
I was gonna say it looks like a knockoff VeggieTales.
it looks terrible.
It's literally the description for it is the story of the nutcracker told from the perspective of vegetables.
Wow.
And
Topher, I don't remember you ever
VeggieTales.
watching this.
no, I definitely did.
Okay, what's your
And
favorite?
I'm gonna go watch it again.
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite? Is it both your worst and your favorite one? Your least favorite and your favorite?
I don't know. My favorite has to be like the original Rudolph.
Okay.
I love that one so much.
All right.
Specifically because of the snowman and the miner.
Okay, do we have
Bumbles
anybody else
bounce.
in Discord right now? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we
Was
have
that
one more.
Thray?
We have one more.
Thray, did you just say that?
What did she say?
Yes.
What'd she say? I
Okay,
missed it.
Matt, I purposely just sent you that photo.
Okay. Yes,
Okay?
Yeah.
Can you share like you did earlier?
Oh, well, I mean, we're on the radio.
That,
so
that's,
people-
Say what it
I
is.
understand, but the people in our chat need to be able to see this.
Okay, well,
All right,
most people aren't watching because they're in the Discord.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We'll do it during the break.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to tell my story.
Okay.
All right. Here's the thing.
I'll share it in the Discord.
All right. Here's the thing. Topher was born 5 days prior to Christmas. Okay. I gained 100 pounds during my pregnancy with Topher. I am not kidding. I am not exaggerating. I went in to have him at 208 pounds. Okay. So, Chris was at basic training for the last part of my pregnancy, and he came home over Christmas. He missed Topher's birth by 2 days. He came home over Christmas. His grandmother was there, his entire extended family. My mother-in-law calls and says, hey, we're going to open up Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Why don't you guys come over? Chris, by the way, wear your blues. We want to be able to get a picture with you in them. And so...
Which is his uniform, if y'all don't know.
Right.
Military.
The dress. Yeah.
Uniform.
Yep. So Chris shows up in his blues. Everyone else is dressed very nicely. I am 4 days postpartum at this point. I am wearing oversized black sweatpants and a way too tight blue fleece pullover. While the rest of my family is dressed so nicely, it ends up being an entire family picture. When it was just supposed to be a Chris picture, it's a family picture. The first picture with our entire family. My brother-in-law looks at me and says, "You look great. Very Christmassy. Bumbles bounce." And quite honestly, that is
Mo,
what
I am
I
so
look
sorry.
like.
I'm so sorry.
That is what I look like in that picture. So, while Rudolph is like my favorite Christmas special, I can't watch it without being slightly bitter.
Oh, you told that story a long time ago.
Is
and I forgot
excusable
all about it.
fratricide excuse.
Wow. Okay. We still have one person to get to. Tristan,
Sorry.
thank you for waiting so long. What is your least favorite Christmas special? Tristan in the chat. Oh, he's typing.
Oh.
Is it not working? Is your mic not working? Can't get his mic to work. Okay, type it out for us. What's your least favorite?
While he's typing, I have to say that Lark also typed that she loves Claymation Christmas and grew up with it as well.
Wow. How have
So
I
Lark,
never
Trey,
heard of
and
it?
I all have this trifecta. So anyone else who wants to join our cool club can watch Claymation Christmas.
Claymation Christmas.
There you go.
Cannot believe I've never heard of it.
It's posted in the Discord.
Oh.
It's
Straight
posted
to
in
the
Discord?
California Raisins.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And
I legitimately thought that
There it is.
movie was
Wow. You thought it was what?
Oh no.
Hello?
I thought it was some
knockoff
sick
Veggie
fever dream from my youth.
It is, yes, and that's
But-
legitimate. That's a
but
legitimate response.
You guys helped me realize that no, my memories are accurate.
All
That'll
right,
be a nickel.
Tristan in chat said his least favorite is Star Wars Christmas, which we can't fault you for it. We really can't.
Yeah, Coffee. That's it. That's a knockoff Veggie Tales.
It really
It
is.
really
yeah.
is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna. First of all, I can't believe no one has
Oh,
mentioned.
hilariously bad though.
I can't believe nobody has mentioned the Grinch anywhere. The original How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Like
I like the original How You Stole
in it.
that's a top.
Stole
That's a top
Christmas.
tier one
Now,
for me.
now, if
A
you were
good
talking
or
about
bad,
movies,
Matt?
Well, I like every
The newest
Grinch
one?
movie. I like both Grinch movies. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't like the Jim Carrey.
Oh, I like them both. I like them both.
the newest
Where
one made me
are
cry.
you,
Like that one is so well done.
I loved
I
it.
was
Yeah.
so surprised. I was
Yeah.
You know what
thrown
else?
back.
You know what else is interesting about the new one?
Like this.
The new one is one of the rare Christmas movies that is not focused around Jesus to include Christmas carols that are religious. Like most of the Christmas carols were religious Christmas carols. Like we heard Christ our Savior is born multiple times at the beginning of that movie. And that's just not done anymore. And that was pretty cool.
Matt,
What?
Done
I
by
just had a
Pentatonic.
realization.
What?
We've been doing this for so long. We had that conversation. We addressed
did.
that entire thing
In 2018
when the
when it
movie
came out.
first came out. Yeah.
But
Ugh.
I want to give you my least favorite, and it's one of those that it's so bad it's good that you got to watch. And I'm fairly certain none of you have seen it, but it is called How Murray Saved Christmas, and it is about a Jewish deli owner who saves Christmas. It goes into crazy
Because of the
territory
Christmas ham or
with
what?
all the there's a lot of pastrami in the movie. There's all the holiday characters and whatever, and Santa gets knocked out. It's a crazy cartoon story. The titular character is voiced by Frank Costanza. What's the guy's name? Jerry Stiller. It's funny, but also just so dumb. But if you can track it down, I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu, I think. It's got to be on a streaming service somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it's Hulu. Track it down, watch it at least once, and then it can be in your worst and kind of best lists as well.
I definitely thought you were going to say Santa gets knocked up.
No, not that would make for a terrible, terrible.
Now I'm
terrible film.
traumatized.
Hey.
All right, I'm gonna close the Discord right now. Thank y'all so much for chiming in there. That was a great discussion.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
Mo, what's your least favorite? We didn't even get to do yours. We talked about it a lot.
I don't, Matt, honestly, I don't know. I really don't. Every time that I go to say something, I'm like, yeah, but it has that redeeming quality about it.
Okay,
that-
well, what's your favorite then?
Frosty.
Really?
Hands down.
The original Frosty?
The original Frosty.
Okay,
I
give that
love
to you.
Frosty.
I can give that to you. All right, well, let's take a break here. When we come back, why you can't beat the Christmas oldies.
Stick around.
Oh, great discussion, everybody. Just in case you didn't hear that picture that Mo was talking about, I put in the Discord if you didn't see it, so you can go look at that now. And that took a good while, so
Yeah.
we're going to just jump right on into the next
Listen,
thing.
I messaged Nick and April to say, hey, where's that picture? Because I need to share it.
Okay. It wasn't Tad. It was Tristan that was having problems. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Tad, if you want to actually jump back into the chat because we're about to do the game here in this next segment with you after we do the holidays. All right. Yeah. So just stick around there. And then once we start talking about date, nut. Oh, and that's supposed to be bread.
I was so confused earlier.
I'm just realizing a typo. Then you can get ready. Okay. Here we go with Winnings Day.
Rise and shine, nerds.
Welcome to episode 428 of the Back Row Morning Show, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network and the official exclusive morning show for LTN Radio. I'm Radio Matt, the station manager and chief radio nerd. I'm 18 years saved, 16 years married, 11 years recovered, 7 years a father, and 36 years a nerd.
And I'm Mo, a lot of things wrapped up in one small yet loud package. Your very own casserole of a co-host doing my best to bring the best, but one thing I'm not is good at math.
Today on the show,
or science, apparently. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was so excited with the title and everything.
My bad.
Interrupted me.
My bad.
All I want for
Go
Christmas
ahead.
is you.
What's happening on the show
I couldn't
today?
even get it out again because you're still talking. All I want for Christmas is you.
Okay. Also on the show today.
Ah!
I knew you were going to do it. I paused. I take on one of our Discord.
Oh, you got muted. No one can hear you. Sorry. Say it again. What? Couldn't prepare for that one now, could you?
Also on the show today, I take on one of our Discord buds in a game.
But first, today is Wednesday, December 15th. No, it's not.
It's not.
December 22nd, 2021.
Get it together.
We got some holidays to celebrate.
That's right. It is National Cookie Exchange Day.
Yeah.
So listen, in preparation for the show, I actually learned that there are specific rules when it comes to exchanging cookies.
Explain.
No. I got so annoyed just like skimming through. There's like at least 7 articles that I found where they go into lengthy detail about the cookie exchange rules and specifics.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to need to search that up myself then.
Yeah. I was slightly irritated. Hey.
Yeah.
It's National Short Person Day.
Yesterday it was a specific kind of short person, but now it's just all short persons in general.
Well, and here's the thing. Today, we're just acknowledging the existence of short people.
Sorry, Oriole in chat. I give you a cookie, you give me a cookie. Simple as that.
I mean, truthfully, it is that simple. It's an exchange of cookies. Anyway, today is simply acknowledging the existence of short people, whereas yesterday...
I don't believe in short people.
...was an appreciation for short
ladies.
Girls, yeah. So, sorry to all of you who are simply short and not of the female gender, because we're just acknowledging you today. We're not appreciating you.
You are a short person, and you have been acknowledged.
I see you. And lastly, it is National Date Night Bread Day.
No.
Date Nut Bread Day. Date Night Bread. Date night bread. Date nut bread.
So literally the only reference to date nut bread loaves that I've ever heard prior to knowing this is a holiday was from Captain America Civil War, because that's what Tony is eating at Aunt May's house when Spider-Man is first introduced. Date nut loaf.
Date nut loaf.
And then he spits out some of it in the trash can.
Date night
and
loaf?
says, as far as date nut loaves go, that wasn't bad. And that's really the only reason I know it existed at all.
Okay.
Fun fact. All right. We are going to be playing a game. It's time for Mo and one of our back row buds to go head to head.
What?
Are you ready? It's a Christmas challenge.
It's a Christmas challenge.
With our buddy Tad. Let me
Hi,
unmute.
Tad.
Tad, are you there, Tad?
I am, and I am so ready to kick some butt.
What?
If you happen to win,
We're supposed to be kind.
if you happen to win today, you will earn yourself a I beat Mo in a game not like with a bat sticker from the Back Row Morning Show. They are very prestigious. Only a few people have them.
I'm winning that sticker.
Yeah, we'll see, Tad. We'll see. Pride comes before the fall.
All right. So the way this is going to work is I have several
Mo can't fall far.
Hey!
Zing.
Rude!
Zing.
How tall are you, friend? Huh? How tall are you?
That's 1 point
I'm
for him.
5'10". I'm average.
I'm average.
1 point.
That's
For
fair.
Tad already.
Hey!
I'm kidding.
No cheating on the scorekeeping over there.
So the way this one's going to work is I'm not going to go back and forth like I've done in the past. This is going to be a first to shout out the correct answer gets the point.
Oh, friend. Oh. I'm sorry.
So as soon as I say the question, you jump in with the answer. Both of you.
Oh, yes.
I'm louder than you.
Going to dominate.
And that was kind of weird. Watch my face. Watch in the video. I'm sure it doesn't do it. Yeah. Do you see it?
Slightly, yeah. It's a very slight delay. We got like a half-second delay.
Anyway.
Okay. You're just freaking everybody out. That's
I know, sorry.
All right. So there are, I think, 17 questions with a tiebreaker if we need it. All right. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Now, let me be clear. You can jump in the middle of the question if you already anticipate the answer, but I would prefer you wait for me to get the whole question out.
Okay.
But I'll allow it, is what I'm saying. But don't just shout out nonsense, okay? Have an actual answer. All right, here we go. When Ross can't find a Santa outfit in time for Christmas and Friends, what does he dress
Holiday
up
armadillo.
1 point for Mo already.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, I gave her the Friends one at the beginning, but the rest are not Friends. So.
Oh, good.
She's
okay.
obsessed. She's obsessed with Friends. So, how old is Kevin McAllister in Home Alone?
8.
Holy cow! You're right. Tad, you're off to a bad start here.
I am. Holy cow.
According to 1946 Christmas classic "It's a Wonderful Life," what happens every time a bell rings?
An angel gets his wings.
Oh, dude. Dang
it. In Will Ferrell's Elf, what's the first rule in the Code of the Elves?
Oh, no.
This one I don't know.
It's not. There's room for everybody on the nice list. It's not to spread Christmas cheer, sing loud enough for all to hear.
Eat sugar. Eat lots of sugar. Sugar is the only food group in their diet.
So I'm going to hide the chat so no one accidentally says it and gives Mo the answer. I'm going to give you all 5 more seconds. 5.
I don't know
4.
this one.
No, pass? Okay. It's treat every day like it's Christmas.
Oh, right.
Y'all broke my heart there. Broke my heart. Okay.
2-0? 3-0?
It's 3-0, yeah.
Oh, golly.
How many are
I didn't
there
know
total?
these
What
were
did you
all
say?
like going to be movie ones.
They're not all movies. No, there's TV, there's music. We're gonna hit all kinds of things.
Like, I'm a history buff, so like if you did all Christmas history,
No,
I'd
Christmas
be
pop culture. Sorry.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Now I'm a little less confident. Well, I'm so sorry.
All right. Die Hard takes place on Christmas Eve, but in what city?
Chicago.
Nope. You can keep guessing though. You can
New
keep guessing.
York?
No.
Denver.
No.
Los Angeles.
Yes, Los Angeles. Y'all can keep guessing. You don't have to wait for the other person to guess. It's just a first one to shout it out thing. So just remember, just keep yelling out answers. Which famous U.S. political figure and celebrity makes a cameo in Home Alone 2?
Donald Trump.
Dang. Yep. In which children's classic is it always winter but never Christmas? Oh, you're breaking my heart, both of you.
The Island of Misfits.
What? No.
No?
No. Christmas classic. It's a book, but they also made it into a movie. Twice, I believe. Reliant K did a song about it for the soundtrack of the latest iteration of the movie, where they sing "It's always winter, but never Christmas." Nobody? 3, 2, 1. C.S. Lewis is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh.
Whoa. My
Chronicles
goodness,
of
that's
Narnia.
Christmas.
Come on, guys. Santa is in the movie. It counts.
Oh my! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What?
I'm kind of ashamed for not knowing that one.
Mariah Carey's iconic Christmas hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, officially signals the start of the festive period, but what year was it released?
1998.
2001.
Nope.
96.
Nope.
95.
94.
Nope. 94. Ted, you're on the board.
Yeah!
I was so close.
My birth year. Okay.
All right.
I was right there. I started closer. He said 2004. He was a whole decade off.
What comes next in Wham's Last Christmas with the lyrics, "Once bitten and twice shy, I keep my distance." What's the next line?
I don't know this song.
Once bitten and twice shy, I keep my distance.
But you still catch my eye.
Correct.
You still try? Oh.
You still catch my eye. Good job.
Oh.
All right. How many gifts
Tell me, baby.
in total? How many gifts in total were given in the 12 days of Christmas?
Oh my gosh, this takes math.
27. 26.
Far more.
30, 35.
Far more.
Oh gosh. 62.
Far more.
There's 12 days of Christmas. So,
Okay, stop.
oh, sorry.
Stop.
Hold
Stop.
on.
Stop.
Wait. I got this. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, hold on.
No, I was looking at the score.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, this one's hard. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let y'all think about it for a second while I'm talking here. And y'all are each going to give me your best guess, and the closest to it is going to get the point. Okay? How many gifts were given in total throughout the 12 days of Christmas in the carol? Mo, what's your best guess?
648.
Tad, what's your best guess?
It's 78.
Oh gosh, now y'all are gonna make me do math. Okay, hold up. Y'all are so far apart that I can't tell which is closer.
Is using your calculator cheating?
That's what I'm doing now. So what was yours, Mo? 600?
648. 648.
648. Okay. The actual answer is 364, and you were 284 off.
I think Tad's
Oh.
closer.
So
Yeah, I think Tad's closer.
is that it? So 364 minus, you said 78?
Okay, you meant the entire song.
That's what I said. In total,
I
286.
thought you meant like the every single day.
Did he get it? Dang it. 286
No,
is
I
how much
actually
you were
think that
different.
I got it. I think I
And then
got
you
it.
were 648 minus 364. Oh my gosh, by 2.
Yeah.
She beat you by 2.
Oh my
She was
goodness.
That's
2
insane.
closer.
Okay, I bowed to Mo. We're in this segment.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, y'all are going to be really mad because this is not a Christmas movie. So that's your
Okay.
first hint. But it is often watched at Christmas, especially by children. What is the name of the giant snow monster that guards Elsa's palace in Frozen? I'm really interested to look at the chat after we're done with this.
Isn't it like Fluffy or
It's something similarly cute,
yeah?
but it's not fluffy.
Fuzzy.
No.
Cutie.
No. It doesn't
Softy.
it doesn't end with an E thing. A Y or an IE or anything.
Fluff. Fuzz. Soft. Warm. Cute. Hug.
Snowball? Is it Snowball?
It's not Snowball. 5
Snowflake?
seconds. 4, 3, 2,
Icicle.
1. It's marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Dang it.
What is the name of the main big baddie in The Nightmare Before Christmas?
The
Boogie Monster.
Oogie Boogie Man.
Boogie Boogie.
Oh.
I said it first.
No, you definitely did not.
You said Oogie Boogie Man,
Yeah, it's Oogie Boogie.
and he said Oogie Boogie,
Yeah.
and then you said Oogie Boogie.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
can
I
give
feel
it
like
to
it's a
him.
technicality, but
Give
it
it to
does
him.
go to him, yeah. That was pretty funny. All right. What hangs from the marble banisters in Hogwarts Castle over Christmas?
Candles. No, wait. So.
No.
Oh, over the banisters?
What hangs from the marble banisters in Hogwarts Castle over Christmas?
Garland, ornaments,
They're house flags.
No.
scarves.
It's only during Christmas.
Quidditch.
All of the Hogwarts
In
vernacular
the
I know.
Wands. Lightning bolts.
Think Christmas stuff.
Mistletoe. Ornaments. He already said ornaments.
5,
Presents.
4,
Nativity scenes.
2, 1. Everlasting icicles.
Oh my goodness.
How many siblings does Kevin have in Home Alone?
7.
3, 6, 7,
Nope.
5.
Nope.
8,
Nope.
2,
Nope.
1,
Nope.
11,
Nope.
13,
No.
9.
It's
No.
5.
No. Y'all have not said this one number.
4?
Oh, Mo just beat you, but yes, 4.
Oh man. Oh,
Oh gosh.
I'm not showing my friends this. This is embarrassing.
Okay. Which TV family has a pet dog called Santa's Little Helper?
The Simpsons.
Dang, yep. What is the best-selling Christmas song of all time?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Nope.
They just made a challenge on it.
A challenge?
The
Yeah,
Little Drummer Boy.
There's a challenge on like not.
All I want for Christmas is you.
No.
Jingle bells.
Nope.
No, it's oh goodness. Yeah, there's a challenge. If you hear the song, you lose.
Jingle Bell Rock.
Nope.
Christmas shoes.
No. No. Best-selling Christmas song of all time.
White Christmas.
Yes, White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
Okay.
His only guess. He gets it.
All right. What is the name of the recent Home Alone remake starring Aisling Bay?
Oh my gosh. Home Not Alone?
No.
Home.
That's scary. Home Not Alone.
Exactly.
Home Alone
Home
again.
Sweet Home Alone.
No. Oh, yes. Home
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Well, that's all the official questions, and the score
I think we need a
is
tiebreaker.
10-3 at the moment.
Seems like a tie to me. I don't know.
But I thought we'll go ahead and do the tiebreaker anyway, just for giggles here. What does Harry Potter receive from Dumbledore during his first Christmas at Hogwarts?
Nimbus 2000.
Nope.
A wand.
Nope.
No.
He gets it from
Quidditch.
Dumbledore.
Got it from
Everlasting
Dumbledore.
icicles.
No. She got it from Dumbledore.
It's a key MacGuffin in the movie. Something he needs.
Picture of
the
his
cloak,
family.
the invisible cloak.
Cloak of invisibility. Good job. You earned yourself an extra point there, Tad.
Yay! I didn't lose that bad.
You totally did. But that's okay, friend. I'm glad you were here.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
that was a lot of fun.
gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised Mo did as well as she did.
Hey.
Because I tried to make this kind of skewed in other people's favor, and you still I was like setting you off guard by giving you a friend's question first, and then trying to get all these properties that you wouldn't know, and you still dominated.
It's Christmas. What you talking about?
Yeah.
But Tad, thank you so much. And I mean, you're definitely going to get another shot because
Oh, cool.
you gotta, right?
Yeah, I gotta
redeem
redeem myself.
But
can I come back for like a history one or something?
I'll try and make that happen. Yeah. But Tad, seriously, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming so I could beat you.
Merry Christmas, man. Oh, all right. Let's take another quick break.
When we come back, all I want for Christmas is you.
Stick around. Oh, that was good. Okay. Let's go back to the chat. That's quite a lot. I'm not showing my friends this. Yeah, y'all are having a lot of fun. I did hide the chat. Yes, I learned my lesson. I think it was when Mo was doing a similar thing for me and Topher. I'm like, we had to hide the chat because Mo had a lot of questions. Everyone was jumping in.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I mean,
that's part of the fun.
So, we need an Ask Us Anything question because this is the last segment for the Wednesday show.
Christmas
themed Ask Us anything question.
What is your favorite Christmas memory?
We're not going to do that because that's kind of the discussion that we're having in the show, the Christmas Eve show. So something else.
I can tell you my least favorite Christmas memory.
What's your favorite carol? All right, let's do that. Favorite Christmas carol. I like that. What's the best Christmas cookie? All right, we'll do those two. No more. Thank you. Okay. Welcome back to the Back Row Morning Show as things are winding down for the day.
But first, we're going to answer a question from Twitch.
So we have a couple questions actually we'll do. They kept coming in, but we're just going to do these first two here. Mm-hmm. First one's from Threy. What is your favorite Christmas carol?
Okay, so I have two, and I always go back and forth between the two.
Okay.
I don't think that I can actually settle on what my favorite is.
Okay.
Carol of the Bells, hands down.
Ding, fries are done.
Except for when people do that, and then they totally ruin it. You and my husband. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that? Anyway, and Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah, okay. Little Drummer Boy. Mm-hmm. Neither one of those are my favorite.
That's fine. They're mine, not yours.
I stick, but I also have two that I can't decide between, and that would be Silent Night and Away in a Manger. And I particularly like it when they're mixed together. And I especially like it on Reliant K's Christmas album because they are melded together, Silent Night, Away in a Manger, and then it transitions beautifully into I Celebrate the Day, which is my favorite, like, modern Christmas song. And I've sung that for my church, that whole 3-song thing, multiple times, because it's great. It's my favorite. And then what was the other question? The other question was, what's the best Christmas cookie from Brother Mod?
The best Christmas cookie.
So my favorite, but see, we talked about Christmas cookies as a tradition that my family does on Monday. And my favorite one is this little, it's almost like a pumpkin pie, like a caramel pumpkin pie cookie that they make. It's got like pecans in it. I don't know the official name of it, but it's really darn good. It's my favorite of all the ones they make. But they also make a really good butterscotch gingerbread man.
They make them into a reindeer, don't they?
Usually. This year I think they're just straight up cookies, but they're really good.
Matt,
so
I don't know.
Those two are my favorite.
I don't know.
You say something basic like Oreo dipped in white fudge?
No. Growing up, my dad used to take like Ritz crackers, peanut butter
in the middle,
and then
dip it in chocolate.
White chocolate.
White chocolate. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen it both ways. Yeah.
That I might have to do that with the kids this year because it's been a long time since I've had those.
I don't know if that would technically count as a cookie. It's not a cookie, but it's definitely very good.
And it was something that we only did at Christmas growing up. I am going to say something super basic. I just like a really well-made, perfectly iced sugar cookie. I really do.
True. Those can be very good. Mm-hmm. Very delicious. But also rare.
Yeah.
It's rare that you get a perfectly made and flavorful sugar cookie.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't ever risk it.
Yeah.
On buying it. Like if they're at a party, I will try it and most likely be disappointed. But
you know, the one cookie that I always steal from your family's box, whatever. Yeah. And keep for myself, even though I probably don't have to steal it. Nobody else likes it. I'm the only one. The Pfeffernussen.
The Pfeffernussen, the pepper cookies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hate them.
I love them. I love them.
That is one of those you love it or hate it cookies. Yep. For sure. For sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's end with our verse for the day.
Our verse for the day is Luke 2:10. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people."
That's going to do it for our show today. Remember that we air first exclusively on LTN Radio, ltnonair.com, every Monday through Thursday at 8 a.m. Eastern with an encore at 10 a.m. But if you missed a day or just can't catch the show live, find the Back Row Morning Show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, and leave a review. Do it, and we'll love you forever.
And also, the podcast feed will offer a weekly highlight episode focusing on just our main topics for the week for those of you who can't commit to the full 3 hours a week. And make sure you're following us on all the socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Just search for @TheBackRowLTN and connect with us.
Tune in tomorrow morning for the Back Row Christmas Eve special, where Mo and I will be ranking Christmas candy and playing some reindeer games. And again on Friday for the Church Nerds Christmas Eve special, where Bubba and Anna will be talking about Christmas movies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
And much more.
My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What happened? I need to know what happened.
No, I keep going. It was my mistake.
Then starting next Monday, LTN Radio will be going into a low maintenance mode for 2 weeks with no shows or special music blocks, but still the best Christian rock, rap, pop, and indie blasting 24/7, with the exception of New Year's Eve, where I will be hosting New Year's Nerding Eve, a special countdown of our top 20 new songs of 2021, some of our favorite moments from this year, special New Year's LTN shorts, and a final Bible thump for the year from Drew Dixon. Once again, I'm Radio Matt.
And I'm Mo.
And remember, if nobody else tells you, we promise it's true. Jesus loves you, nerd. Okay, what happened?
I thought that you were supposed to be saying New Year's Eve.
Oh, I got you.
I was reading way too far ahead in the thing.
Jumped.
And you said Christmas Eve. Anyway. I
had a sugar cookie from work with cranberry juice added.
That is why I was jumping ahead, because I saw the comment and I was like, cranberry juice in a sugar cookie.
All right, we are about to take a brief intermission, but before we do that, we do have our normal taste test. And then after the taste test, we're going to take a brief intermission. We're going to come back. It's going to be the Christmas Eve special. I said an extra Eve. And we'll also be giving away a hat at the end of that. It's going to be fun.
Hat at the end of that.
Hat at the end of that. But what I've got for us today is, I believe, some Japanese deep wavy lays. So first up, we got 2 different ones. But first up is roasted chicken wing flavored. Pretty sure these are Japanese. They might be Chinese. I don't remember. It's been a while since I bought them.
The last one that we did had a flag on the back. Remember? It was the Turkish flag.
It was.
But this one does not
no
have a flag, I don't think.
Whoa!
What is it? Roasted
like
chicken
ramen.
what? Oh, that does smell like the seasoning packet of ramen.
Yeah. This is roasted chicken wing.
Roasted. Oh,
this might be
Tad
delicious.
is saying that they are Japanese.
Thank you, Tad. It smells so good. It smells exactly like that seasoning packet. Bruh. Ooh, it gets better as you go.
It definitely tastes like a
Holy
ramen
cow.
seasoning packet.
Exactly like chicken ramen. That is crazy. Woo-wee. Dang, that's good.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and
I
macaroni.
hate that song. Can I tell you why?
You already told me why.
Can I tell everybody else why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it says chicken again. You should
When
have
it
said
should
cheese
say-
and macaroni, and that would have made much more sense.
Chicken wing, hot
Cheese
dog and
and-
bologna, cheese and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
Why would you say chicken again? You already covered chicken.
And who does chicken and macaroni? I mean, that's not
Well,
even a...
That is a thing. You know, KFC actually has a whole new bowl that's mac and cheese with chicken in it. It's a thing. Anyway, we have another one.
Oh, I can't eat this one, huh? I need to wait.
This is grilled squid flavored.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that grilled squid.
Topher says,
Delicious.
what is your favorite flavor candy cane? For example, you know, one of these days I feel like you're going to elbow me straight in my face. I know. Mint, Jolly Rancher, Sour Patch.
My nose doesn't know what
That
happened
does
to it.
not smell good at all.
Holy moly.
That smells like old fish. That does not smell good.
Get a nice juicy one here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ugh. The traditional candy
Oh,
canes, Topher, those are my
gosh.
favorite.
Yeah, same. Actually, I take that back. I like spearmint.
I don't want anything.
Here we go. No.
That's not good at all.
No.
Here. Here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Take me away, ramen trip. Oh my gosh, that was terrible.
That was so it was so bad. You know something is bad when I get goosebumps. That's when you know something is bad. And arms are covered in goosebumps.
Give me another chicken chip. Chicken
Another
chip.
chicken
stat.
chip. Chicken chip.
This is a flavor we need here. Because these are dang good.
It's easy enough. Go buy
Go buy
roast
regular
chicken
Lay's.
ramen and wavy Lay's. Pour the seasoning in. Give it a shake.
That's dang
There you
good.
go. They are very good.
Subjectively bad, yes. Not objectively bad. We hate them. But that doesn't mean everybody would hate them. All right, we are going to take a quick intermission. Get yourself a bio break going and come back and join us here in about 5 minutes.
Is that a pee break?
It is. That's what you call a pee break in gaming lingo. So you don't have to say pee. But you just made me say it. So
We're also not gaming, so it's all right.
it's true, but we're on Twitch, which is a gaming platform.
They do a lot of things on Twitch.
That's true. We should do a hot tub stream. Do you know that was a thing on Twitch?
Listen, it gets heated enough.
Come on.